the teams would be looking for, etc.?
The first question that we made as a team was trying to point out which course are the ones that are the most selected from the students based on campus, based on terms, and also based on the measure we have marketing, finance, all the other. So the first question is which course is selected the most by campus from each student. Then based on that we took the file, we put it, we uploaded it with the editor of Power Query, and after the automatic passage of promoted headers and change title.
Okay, so some are asking how many questions do we need to ask. So again, when you handle your hotel data set later today, my recommendation is to one question is a good starting point. Don't stop there. Okay, create as long of a list as you can. It's a brainstorm and time as a team. Brainstorm what is the and then you have an additional piece of information, which is the business question that you're looking to answer. Okay? In this case, specifically, is I think the question is about cancellation rates. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Or cancellation or implemented new, because maybe we can see that some courses in some campuses.
No, sorry, I'm talking about the assignment. The question for the assignment is about cancellation rates. Okay? So when you come together as a team, you're going to create a long list of questions. You have two pieces of information to base these questions on. The first basis is the context of the business, which is hotel, and the second is what's being asked of you, which is what are you going to do about cancellation rates? Yeah. Okay. So use those two inputs to define the list of the list of questions that you want to use to inform what to put in the fact table and what to put in the dimensions table. Okay? Alright, so in this case you focus on a single question, okay? And then can you really zoom in if you can? Sure. I think the steps is what's important.
There's first two promoted headers and change title is something that every time that you upload a new file, a new data set on Power BI, Power Query automatically did it. So as also a little suggestion, check it. Sometimes it makes some error. And after that, what we would like to have is a column, one single column with all the courses. Because in this way we have a lot of empty cells, and all these terms in columns that actually are not useful for our investigation. So there's this function in editor of Power Query that is called unpivot. Now you just need to reach it. That is transform and unpivot columns. Basically, you select all the columns that you have, and automatically, or you need to unpivot automatically. Power Query will transpose it into rows. This is going to create a problem that's going to duplicate all the rows for all the columns that you have. So if you have one row and 10 columns, the same row you're going to have 10 times. But we can avoid this problem doing a filter later in the second passage. So just to be more clear, we selected all the courses that we have in the columns. We unpivoted. We had tons of rows, literally a lot, because the 600 courses that we have created 600 duplicates of a single row. So, in order to avoid this,
So before you go too far, does that make sense? So there are two ways to solve this problem. One way is to use the unpivot, or if you're using Power BI, a different language, you may call it slightly different. In Portuguese is transform columns to rows. Okay. So depending on the setting, you might have a different name. Another way is what we were discussing here, where you can actually create a new column and use the formula to determine which column is relevant, so that you can resolve the problem of having to create this approaches. Okay?
So this is going to be the result. As you can see, after selecting with Shift and right arrow, we're going to have DROM and all the and all the attributes, so all the courses repeated for the same student. So, and this is what we don't need, because each student selects at most 4 electives.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, we have value null, and we need to reach. We don't even know which course is not in order to get a grade. In order to do this, the fastest way is just go to value, filter, and unselect blank. In this way, we just keep we keep only the courses with the grades. And the final result will be and in this way we're gonna have a table with let's put it together with student's ID, first name, last name, term, elective, and grade. And we're gonna have one single row for each course that each student has. In this way, we're gonna have a data set that is complete, that's filterable, that we can do a chart, we can do a graph, we can do whatever we want with it. One previous step that I think is essential to do before selecting, before filtering the white rows, is creating a second table that is basically a duplicate of this one, where you basically isolate and eliminate all the duplicates of all the electives and keep one single row for each single courses. We did this in order to avoid to not see courses that has not been selected. So this is helpful to when you're gonna step for the next step, when you try to point out which are the courses with most students, if there's some courses that has no students, because while filtering in the previous table, all the students that have a grade, you're not going to find out if there's courses that has no selection from the students. So that's why we think that creating this duplicated table is necessary.
Okay, so a couple of points. It was all great until the very end. Okay, so just give me a point.